Happy Saturday, you dirty little scumbags. It's Adam and Sam, and we're here with some wrestling news. How are you today, Sam?
Not too bad. Bit stressed, mate. Just trying to plan some belated birthday drinks, but it's the Euros, isn't it? Completely forgot about that. So now everything's on fire, and the available seats that are there. I mean, there's some places, but it's just going to be a rough old time of it.
Well, I don't know why you deserve 2 birthdays anyway. Your birthday was last weekend, Sam. I think you're being a bit selfish. Should we take a look at the
didn't do anything for it.
Because you got no friends. Headlines! We have reports that Samoa Joe may be signing with NXT. WWE has rehired a veteran wrestler. And a WWE Hall of Famer wants to wrestle again. We'll tell you more soon. So a very exciting report to kick this news video off. This comes via Fightful, who are reporting that they've spoken to numerous NXT talent and staff on Friday, who have noted that NXT is interested in bringing in Samoa Joe. Nobody's been mentioned by name who's been chatting there. This is all behind the scenes stuff. He was released, of course, back in April. As part of those significant cuts to the roster. A very, very puzzling one indeed. I think a lot of us were baffled by that decision. There was speculation that maybe he wasn't going to be cleared to wrestle again, but the report states that they want to bring him in a wrestling role. Over half a dozen talent in the company saying that there's interest. Are you excited, Sam?
I'd be excited to see Samoa Joe back wrestling in any capacity, but at the same time, this is just... What's going on in Stamford that they're releasing stars and then everybody's going, hang on, what? No, he's not on the books anymore? We need that person back.
Is this Triple H going behind Vince's back and being like, oh, if you don't want him, I'll have him? Is that how it works? It's still Vince's money, right?
Yeah.
The really interesting part of this report, in fact, Fightful Select providing an update to the original report, saying that Samoa Joe was indeed backstage at the WWE Performance Center this week. All signs are pointing to Joe. Man, can you Karrion Kross versus Samoa Joe? I'd be well into.
The there's a whole boys.
Yeah, there's a whole new class of NXT there right now. A brand new NXT roster for Samoa Joe to come in and batter and do what he should have done on the main roster. It's so exciting. When I saw this report initially, I thought, oh, this is going to be a commentary role, right? Yeah. But no, it appeared...
I'd really hope that they play off the release if he's going to come back in some way, because Joe would be perfect for that. He's the perfect guy. You give him a mic, he'll do anything. He can get you right there in the palm of his hand. So for him to then start shooting on the company for that, like in a work shoot style, I need it. Hook it up to my veins.
I agree. I think NXT could do with an injection of something special right now. Interest in NXT has never been this low, and I still think it's a very good product. I personally really, really enjoy it. But if Samoa Joe came back in, spitting barbs on the mic, yes, please. Speaking of returns to WWE, a veteran WWE star has returned to work for WWE in a backstage capacity. We are talking about Shawn Daivari. It's interesting because he's just worked NWA's TV and pay-per-view tapings in the same role. He was one of the ones who we didn't know if, because some were furloughed, some were released all the way back at the start of the COVID pandemic, back in, April of 2020?
Yeah. The company parted with him there at that point, whether it was a furlough or a release, but he has been working elsewhere, of course, and he's actually been picking up some dates in ring as well. I think he wrestled in ring for MLW and stuff like that. But again, nice. That's not out the ordinary for WWE producers, because I remember Devon Dudley was working little spot shows here and there every now and then.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Another interesting note on this, and this is just a sort of follow-up. Molly Holly's still reportedly in the middle of that tryout to be WWE's first female producer as well. She's got started a few weeks ago now. That's still ongoing. Hopefully she gets the job, because I bloody love Nora me. Moving on once again, a WWE Hall of Famer has said that he is going to Wrestle again. Who is it, Samuel?
It's Mark Henry. So he was on that Busted Open radio show that he does, and he revealed that Sting has inspired him to get back in the ring. He said, Sting has made me feel like 50 is not old. He's made me feel there's a lot I can still offer, not just behind the scenes, but possibly in the ring. I don't know when that's going to be, but I've said it before, I want to wrestle again before it's all said and done. I want to wrestle in 4 decades, and that time is upon us. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be at AEW, and I'm excited about it. And then he just kind of goes on to say Sting is the primary reason, and it's not too late.
He's making this announcement. Right, I don't want to... I don't know why he's putting all of the praise on Sting here, because he has said this before.
Yeah, I mean, it might be something along the lines of like, well, I want to wrestle again, but, maybe thinking it's not going to be able to be the same kind of match, and then watching Sting come in and, while Sting wasn't busting out Canadian destroyers and stuff, Sting was
amazing,
still wrestling.
He did the dive off the bloody
the
chips
dive and everything.
Was.
So maybe it's more like Sting has shown him that there's still some fire there. You don't need to kind of be more reserved.
Play. I think the interesting thing is here, because he did say that he wanted to wrestle this year, that he's confirmed that it's going to be in AEW, but again, he's just signed a contract for them, so I guess where else would it be? Moving on, Ronda Rousey filming some wrestling content. What's all this about, Sam?
So PW Insider's Mike Johnson has reported that Ronda Rousey was apparently filming wrestling-related content with Paul Heyman and Devon Dudley at the ECW Arena, and a ring was set up.
Can you imagine? Devon, Paul Heyman, and Ronda Rousey. What, at the ECW Arena? What's going on here?
Disney has a show called Peyton's Place on Disney Plus, and I believe it was kind of about football. It's just sort of like a profile show, I believe. But Rousey is apparently in links with a kind of updated, fresher version of that, which is going to move beyond the confines of football for the first time. So I'm assuming she's examining like a more extreme part of wrestling, or part of the wrestling that she watched, or something in and around that. But she was with Heyman, she was with Devon, and they were there with a ring set up. So I mean, and the fact is, Disney, it's through ESPN, who are tied into Disney Plus. So I mean, ESPN's documentary crew. They made the Ric Flair one. I think they were, involved in quite a lot of that.
They've done loads, haven't they? So this isn't a retrospective on Rousey's career, or so. This is about behind the scenes.
I'm not entirely sure, but given that it's at the ECW Arena, and she, as far as I'm aware, has never wrestled on an ECW show at the ECW Arena.
What are you talking about? She did Barely Legal 97, Sam.
What are you talking about?
Well. Hell of a match. Masato Tanaka. It was awesome. And we are finishing off with some well wishes going out to the lovely Taz, who took to Twitter yesterday to reveal that he's in hospital to undergo surgery. He said, "So make sure you watch Dynamite tonight." No, that's the worst thing I've ever done. So make sure you watch Dynamite tonight, 10 p.m. EST on TNT. It's going to be awesome. I'm just getting a little procedure done here. This lump taken off my... Calm your tits. Taken off my face. I'm good. I'm in the hospital about to go into surgery. He's having a lump taken off of his face. Doesn't sound very fun at all. But he did say that he'll be out in time to watch Dynamite, which aired last night, of course. And you should watch it too, because a lot of people aren't watching it at the moment because it's on a different day and the viewing figures are way down, so they need all the tweets they can get.
They're up against big popular sports, aren't they? So
yeah,
it's
a lot of places have been reporting the ratings like it's terrible.
It's
like,
no different.
It's all over for AEW. It's not that.
It's no different to WWE during a hot Monday night football game. It's people are going to switch over if there's something on at the same time.
And it's on a different day. That's a hard.
Yeah, you got to kind of get that across.
There you go. We will be back in a couple of hours for your second dose of wrestling news. See you in a little bit.